What's up guys, I am ExxotikGaming and today I am back with another Pixel Gun 3D video, and today's video is my second review on one of the more recent weapons added into the Big 10.5.0 update. To begin this weapon review, I would like to ask you guys a couple of questions. First, do you guys like crossbows? If yes, do you guys like area damage weapons? If you guys answered yes to both of those questions, you guys are probably going to like the weapon that I am going to be reviewing for you guys today. The Rocket Crossbow. The Rocket Crossbow is a crossbow, obviously, added into the most recent update to Pixel Gun 3D, which has an extremely fast firing rate for a crossbow, and the coolest thing about it is it shoots explosive arrows. So it has that area damage capability, and it's very unique for some of the premium weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. Going into the shop menu and looking at the stats of the Rocket Crossbow, we can see that this weapon has a 24 efficiency, an 83 firing rate, a 10 capacity, and a 110 mobility. So it does have the upper end in terms of efficiency and firing rate for the premium weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. It does have one of the highest efficiencies, and it has a firing rate on par with a weapon like the Toy Bomber. And if you have never used the Toy Bomber before, that has a very fast firing rate. However, looking at those two stats, they really aren't unique, and the one unique stat about this area damage weapon is the fact that it actually has a scope, a 4x zoom, and that's very rare for some of the area damage weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. There are only a handful of area damage weapons that actually have a scope like that. There's the Armageddon, the Missile Thrower, the Easter Bazooka, and a couple of others, but in all, there aren't really too many that actually have that scope. The only problem is, it's really not that useful, and you're going to find a majority of the time, you're not really going to be using that scope, and you're just going to be using the weapon the way that I am using it right now, without even using the scope. The scope can be useful at times, but an overwhelming majority of the time when you do see an enemy player, your best bet is to just fire at hip fire, and that way you can see a lot more people around you, because if you use the scope, it limits your visibility and it's pretty hard to find enemy players. But this probably means that this is one of the better area damage weapons for a medium range map. Now, I never encourage anybody to use an area damage weapon in a medium range map. A map like Paradise Resort and a map like Four Seasons are never really the best choices for some of the area damage weapons in Pixel Gun 3D, because at ranges as far as some of the ranges you can find in those matches, people can easily dodge the rockets before they ever hit them. So you will be at a pretty big disadvantage if you choose to use this weapon in those maps. But you can still use them, you can still get kills. You're not going to probably win in the matches, but it is still possible, and that is the important part with this weapon. Looking at the weapon here in first person mode, it looks like a really powerful weapon. If you guys look at it right here, right now, it just looks like it would be one of the more powerful weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. There are certain weapons in Pixel Gun 3D where, you know, they don't really look like they would be super powerful. I can name one right off at the start, the Sparkly Blaster. Just by the way that it sounds and the way that it looks, it doesn't really look like it would be an extremely powerful weapon in Pixel Gun 3D. But this weapon does. It even sounds like it. Rocket Crossbow. Crossbows are very formidable weapons, and rockets are very formidable weapons, so having two at the same time, I mean, this probably would be a pretty good weapon. Now, the thing is, a lot of people are considering this weapon an overpowered weapon in Pixel Gun 3D, and I wouldn't say that. I would not say this is an overpowered weapon. I could not rank this weapon the same as I would rank a weapon like the Toy Bomber and the Kaboom. Those are much more of the spamming types of weapons of Pixel Gun 3D, and they are much more of the types of weapons where when you use them, you're going to get mad at enemy players if they kill you with them. I've never really gotten mad if I've seen an enemy player using these weapons, so I really never have that problem. I'm going to leave this pool party match just because there are only two other players, and I want to get a little bit more of intense gameplay for you guys throughout the rest of this video. So I'm going to go into a Silent School map, most likely. Never really suggest Four Seasons or Coliseum. Coliseum is another great map for this weapon. You definitely want to go into the closest range possible for this weapon, just like you would with other area damage weapons. The only downside with this weapon is if you go into a close range map and you do encounter somebody else who has another area damage weapon that's more powerful, I mean, obviously they're going to be able to take you out. You encounter somebody and they have the solar power cannon, yeah, they're going to be able to take you out. You encounter somebody and they have a grenade, they're going to be able to take you out. The Kaboom, the Toy Bomber, the Big Buddy, it's going to be hard to take those people out just because this weapon is not as powerful as those other ones. The only thing that this weapon has that those weapons do not have is the 10 shots. Now this weapon has a 10 capacity, so that means if you miss one of your shots, you're going to be able to still have enough to take an enemy player out if you are right next to them. Now even with 10 shots at medium to long range, you may not be able to take somebody out because it's pretty difficult to take somebody out at that range. Range is as far away as across the map in Paradise Resorts. But in a close range map, it can be done, and that is the important part. Some of the other weapons do not have that ability, and that is why this one is good. With a firing rate as fast as it has as well, you can afford to miss one of your shots, although it is kind of bad when you do miss them because the people who have weapons that are not area damage will have a pretty big advantage over you. If you encounter somebody and they have the laser bouncer and you miss your shots against them, you're pretty much a sitting duck, and they're going to pretty easily be able to take you out. Now the 4x zoom, I don't know if I said that already, the 4x zoom is pretty useless with this weapon when it comes to it. You're probably just not going to even use it that many times in general, so just don't even worry about it. It's just pretty much the least pointless thing I've ever seen on a weapon ever. It's just like having a, I don't know, it's kind of hard to combine it to something, or compare it to something else, but it's just really not that useful, and I would just recommend staying away from using the scope too many times in a specific match. Now, this is probably the best area damage weapon for medium range. If you do choose to use it in medium range, you probably are going to get better gameplay with this weapon in medium range than with a weapon like, say, looking here, maybe something like the Loud Piggy, or something like the Armageddon. But honestly, it's really not that much to actually need to get this weapon over them. If you're planning on using it in medium to long range, just stay away from that and you should be good. Honestly, a weapon which this is pretty similar to, the weapons in terms of its firing rates and the fact that just the way the weapon works, is the Armageddon. Honestly, I feel like this weapon is like a little bit of a buffed up Armageddon, and it's pretty cool. Honestly, I don't know if it's enough to really have to buy this if you already have the Armageddon, so if you already have the Armageddon, you can probably do without this weapon and you will be perfectly fine. The age-old question, though, that everybody has is this weapon really worth it? Is this one of those weapons that you have to have in Pixel Gun 3D? And my honest opinion is no. You don't need this weapon. This is not a weapon in Pixel Gun 3D where if you don't have it, you're just nobody. I mean, this is a weapon where you can be perfectly fine without using it, and I mean, that's just kind of how it works when using this area damage weapon. It's good. I mean, you get some pretty decent gameplay with it. I mean, as you guys have seen so far in this Coliseum match, I have no means done badly with it, but you guys have seen in my Toy Bomber versus Kaboom review, or comparison between the two, I got a lot better gameplay with those ones, so you probably want to get those weapons if you are looking for a area damage weapon with a faster firing rates. Or, if you're looking for one with pure power, you're probably going to want to stick with the solar power cannon because that is a much more powerful weapon in terms of its single shots than this one. Because the truth of the matter is, with a 3 to 4 shot kill before it actually takes an enemy player out, somebody with a one-shot kill weapon is an overwhelming majority of the time going to be able to take you out, and you're just going to end up dying a lot of times if you do see those players. So keep that in mind, guys. That's pretty much my direct answer to you guys. I can't really get any more blatant than that. It's just not necessary. You don't really need it. And I mean, even though you can win matches at times like I did there in Coliseum, you guys can compare the gameplay that I got in that match with the Toy Bomber versus Kaboom comparison, and it's really no question. I got much better gameplay in that comparison than with both of those weapons than I did with this specific weapon review. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's pretty much it for this weapon review on this pretty unusual and very unique area damage weapon by the name of the Rocket Crossbow. I mean, my final rating, I would probably give this thing an 8 out of 10. I would give the Toy Bomber and the Kaboom probably like a 9.5 out of 10. I'd give the Big Buddy a 10 out of 10 if I could give that one like the absolute highest rating, because it is a one-shot kill to a fully armored player. But yeah, it's a 3 to 4 shot kill, so it is pretty difficult to take people out. Like that guy, he had the grenade. He was easily able to take me out before I had a chance to do so. But, you know, you can get those kill streaks when using this weapon. You can kill a lot of people. You can kill anybody that you encounter. You just have to be able to maneuver around their shots and be able to avoid when they are firing, so you don't have to get hit while you are trying to take them out. Yeah, it's definitely a more tactical area damage weapon for sure, just because you have to be able to avoid all the people while you are still able to take them out. It's not like the solar power cannon where you can run straight towards an enemy player and make sure to always kill them every single time with your shots. It's not as powerful as that, so you have to try to use it a different way to be able to take them out. So my overall thoughts is it's not something I would have gotten if I was not doing a review on this on Pixelgun 3D for YouTube. I would probably not get this thing. It's not something I would need, and it's not something you guys would need, so stay away from this thing unless you absolutely want it. If you guys, well, like I said at the beginning of the video, you like crossbows and you like area damage, go ahead and get this thing. I mean, it's by no means bad, but it's not the absolute best for an area damage weapon. It's still good. I mean, as you guys can see, I'm getting kills, but it's not the absolute best. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that do not have too many coins and gems in Pixelgun 3D, and they just want to be able to have the absolute best things, and that's it. And this really wouldn't fall in that category. But it's good. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm getting some kill streaks here and there, being able to take people out, you know, pretty regularly, and it's an overall decent weapon in Pixelgun 3D. So, in all honesty, guys, I don't really have much else I need to say about this weapon. I'll just reiterate on a couple of things that I said already, in case you guys kind of forgot, because there are some people that have literally commented in my past weapon reviews things that I've literally said in the review, asking questions. I get this question a lot when I do a review on something. They literally ask, is it good? I'm like, please, just watch the review, and then I will tell you. But, yeah. So this weapon it's one of those weapons where it's kind of borderline spammy, but I really wouldn't consider it a true spamming weapon in Pixelgun 3D. The ones that I would consider would be the Toy Bomber and the Kaboom for sure. Definitely those are much more of the spamming types of weapons than this one. And it's a 3 to 4 shot kill to a fully armored player, which isn't bad, but it still isn't that fantastic. There are other weapons which have that amount of shots to kill that are much better than this one. If you want a weapon which is a 3 to 4 shot kill to an enemy player, you can honestly get some of these secondary area damage weapons, and that way you can have a more powerful primary one that'll do the same job. If you guys want to look at my Death Star review, I did a review on that weapon, and it actually has a very similar amount of damage per single shot as this weapon, and that's a secondary, so you might want to consider getting that one over this one if you really are deciding between just a couple of different area damage weapons to get in Pixelgun 3D. I do like the 10 shot capacity though. That is one of the strong points with this weapon, and if you're somebody who really does like spamming the weapon and you tend to miss a lot of your shots with an area damage weapon, that is the only case that I might want to recommend this one over some of the other ones. Something like the Loud Piggy is one of those weapons where it doesn't have the highest capacity in the world, and you do want to make sure to hit your shots a little bit more accurately than you would with the Rocket Crossbow. So the best maps, guys, Coliseum, Silent School, couple of other ones like that, and yeah, that's pretty much it for my review on the Rocket Crossbow, guys. I really hope you guys did enjoy this review on this weapon. I really hope you guys finally are enjoying me getting back into this update compared to the last update that I was in for an unbelievably large amount of time. If you guys did, then make sure to hit that like button. I would really, really appreciate it if you guys did. It would really mean a lot to me. Make sure to comment down below which weapon you would like to see me review next. I'm eventually going to be reviewing every single one of them, but depending on how many people comment what, then I can do ones earlier than others. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure to go check out my other weapon reviews I have done on my channel. I have a lot of other weapon reviews, and just a couple of days ago I did a review on the Mr. Squiddo, so you guys might want to go check that one out, because that is another weapon that was reviewed really recently on my channel, and not entirely sure what I'm going to do next, but it'll be either the acid cannon, it'll be the zombie head, it'll be the zombie slayer, or I believe there was another one, or may have been another one, but I can't really think of it off the top of my head. There's also the Power Claw and the Spark Shark that I'm still working on getting. I do not have them yet. I'm going to try. Seriously considering doing a gift box opening so I can do that, and then maybe potentially win those in the gift box opening. I'm hoping I'll eventually win something. I don't care if it's even the Golden Friend. I would like to do that and do a review on the Golden Friend. But there are 3 things in my gift box I have yet to win: the Golden Friend, the Power Claw, and the Spark Shark. So I'm hoping eventually I will get one of them, and if I do choose to open up some gifts, I'll do it in a gift box opening part 3. I said I would not do any more of those, but I'm at the point where I've just decided maybe just do one more, and hey, you know, why the heck not waste more money on a freaking video game on something that I know I'll never win. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, like I said before. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.